Hey guys, welcome to the beginning of a new week, and it's been a hell of a weekend. Already in the first few days that we've had Liam home, it's actually been kind of an amazing experience, especially because my personal experience has been totally different from Logan's birth to this birth. But also, Liam himself is such a completely different baby. And I guess you'd come to expect that of all children. They're not going to be exactly the same, but Liam is a very chill baby so far. And I know he's only been born like 28th, 29th, 30th. Do we have 31st in this month? So Monday, right? Or was he born on Tuesday? Okay, so I know Liam's only 7 days old. I mean, he's officially a week old today, but still certain patterns already start to arise even that early about like kind of what their temperament's going to be. And so far, he's very, very chill, and I hope that continues. It would be a nice difference from Logan, who already at this point was fussy. He was a hard child, and I mean, he's a great kid, and I love him to death, but he's high maintenance, let's put it that way. And my wife, who's had a lot of experience with kids and a lot of experience taking care of children ranging from babies to toddlers and above, even she says in her entire life, it's him and one other kid kind of tied for really the level of high maintenance-ness. So we're hoping that Liam is kind of a little bit more relaxing. On the good side of things, I did actually get to take Logan through his first car wash this weekend. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, but my wife is kind of thinking maybe it might freak him out. He might get totally freaked out and you're stuck. You don't want to be stuck inside an automated car wash with a child who is literally having a panic attack. I wouldn't want to do that to him, but I didn't think it was going to happen. So finally this weekend, I took him to it as kind of a special treat. And you can see, here's a little clip of what went on. You ready?
Yeah. We're getting the wash down.
We're getting a wash down. Oh, here come the big brushes. Are those big brushes?
Yeah.
Look at the colors. What colors do you see? Oh, geez. You see red
Yeah.
and green?
We're getting the wash down.
Yeah. Now, while that was a great part of the day, later on that day going to bed, Logan had an epic tantrum. I mean, like one of the biggest I think he's had in his 2.5 year life. He was just beside himself, and took him over like an hour and a half to finally like calm down and go to sleep. And I think it's just a lot of overstimulation for him. There's been so many people visiting the house. There's been so much going on with Liam appearing, and now he's got this, little brother in the house who he loves and he is so gentle with, and we are so appreciative of that. He really, really cares for him, even though now he keeps calling him her. I don't think he quite gets the difference between him and her yet. But he's been amazing to him, and that's really such a huge benefit and it's such a huge help to both of us. So I'm feeling a little like time is flashing by me so quickly. When you're on vacation, you're out of work, or you're on paternity leave like I am. I mean, days sort of flow into each other, especially with paternity leave, because you're not getting the same level of sleep you were. You're not in the same patterns. And I've just had a hard time figuring out what days it was when we were in the hospital for 4 days. It was like, you're kind of in this very controlled environment. The lights are always on outside the hallways. It's like there's always people going on. So it's hard for you to even tell sometimes what time of the day it is. So that being said, it feels like my paternity leave is already half over. I'll be going back to work next Tuesday, and it is like, just feels like it's just flying by. And I'm just really hoping that my wife's recovery is far enough along by the time I go back to work that and we can build enough of a schedule of people coming over to like help her out, because I'll have to go back to work. So here's to hoping. But what's not helping that is that this morning I go to get Logan out of his bed, and I almost said Liam, and that's going to happen a lot throughout both of their lives. But I went and I grabbed Logan and I pulled him out of his bed, and halfway through that not yank, but this slow lift from over here to over here, I had a massive, massive muscle spasm on my back, probably the worst I've ever had. And I dropped to the floor, sort of in a controlled fall. He was on his feet, but I was laid out. And he didn't understand what was going on. He knew that we were going to go into our bedroom, and he was going to get to watch some shows on the iPad, on the YouTube Kids app, and he was just kind of like, hey, Dad, let's go, let's get in there. But I was laid out, and I finally was able to kind of like slowly get up and move with him down the hall, got him into the bed, got him set up, got him with the iPad, and then had to literally crawl down the hallway to the stairs to call down to my wife, who was downstairs with the baby, and just pleading and fighting back tears, asking for her to get like the ice pack and some ibuprofen and just help me, because I was just stuck and it hurt so bad. And I don't know what was worse, the pain or the embarrassment and frustration of being like, I want to be the helper. I want to be there. I want to like prop up the house and make sure that everything's going okay and that my wife doesn't feel a lot of stress because she's still got to recuperate from the C-section. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm there for her. And here I am lying on the floor in tears, can't barely move. And yeah, it was awful. It was, I was laid up for about 6 hours this morning, just in bed, icing on and off, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, and with, ibuprofen on a cycle. Our neighbors, who were awesome, just came over because we had some stuff that we had to move from the first floor to the second floor of the house, and I couldn't do it and Michelle couldn't do it, and it was just like, well, that's just gonna sit there then. And they came over and helped bring stuff up, and it was really, really nice. And then another neighbor brought over a muscle relaxer because she has a lot of muscle problems, and it was really awesome. And I am usually not one to ever take somebody else's like prescription medication. I usually stay very far away from that. I think it's a dangerous thing to do. But when you're in that much pain and you're feeling so guilty about being in that pain and feeling so frustrated about becoming a burden to someone in your family who already has enough burden, I was just like, okay, I'll do anything, just bring it. And I only took half of it because I didn't want it to like knock me out cold. And it did seem to help. I ended up taking the other half a little later, and I am more mobile at the moment. I'm able out, obviously, to sit up. But before, I couldn't even roll to my side. It was pretty awful. And we had somebody else, another friend of ours who's also a nurse, a rehab nurse. She came over and said, icing isn't actually what you want to do for the first 72 hours of pulling a muscle in your back or having a massive muscle spasm. You actually want to heat on and off for the first 72 hours, and then you go to icing it. But also on an 8-hour schedule of ibuprofen, 4 of them, so you want 800 milligrams. She's a registered nurse. I'll take her advice, and so we're going to move from the ice to the heat for the next regimen and keep that going because we've got a little heating blanket thing. So I'm going to try that out, and hopefully it will continue to work because I really don't want to spend any more time being a weight around my wife's neck in terms of like not being able to help her out as much as I want to. So that's the weekend update. As always, just, pitching out to the 2 months to Thanksgiving crew of people. Hope all you guys are doing really well on your goals. Personally, the 2 goals that I had was the dropping about 5 pounds just to kind of make my clothes fit a little better than they are right now, a little tight. And also just from the pregnancy and all the stress of going on like that, my eating habits have definitely been bad. And I haven't been exercising, I haven't been working out, so I'm trying to get slowly back onto those things. Having a muscle spasm in your back definitely puts a hindrance in that, so I don't recommend that as your first step in an exercise routine. So my weight is still kind of fluctuating up and down, but we'll see how it gets to in Thanksgiving. The other goal I had for Thanksgiving was for this channel to reach up to 100 subscribers, and I'm at 96 now, so hey, that's cool. 4 more to go. I haven't figured out yet what kind of like event or something to do when I hit 100, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. If you've got any ideas, feel free to let me know. Maybe you'll do a live stream of some sort. We'll see. Also, if you're just here watching the vlogs, thank you very much for that, and that's awesome. But if you do watch the show as well, just so you know, the new episode of the show went up on Saturday. I talk about the fact that John Boehner, the Speaker of the House, announced his resignation just a little while ago, and kind of what the implications of that is for the House of Representatives and for Congress as a whole. So if you'd like to subscribe to this playlist, to the vlogs, or to the show itself, I'll put up subscription buttons for both, here and here. Thanks as always for watching, and be good to each other.